Call this meeting to order of the Griggs County Commission. Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call.
Will you say the date, Troy?
What?
Will you say the date?
March 3rd, 2016. John Wakefield. Here. Dale Peterson. Here. Ron Dahl. Here. Sean Steffen is not here today. Troy Olson is. Okay. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Looks fine to me, so I'll move to approve the agenda as submitted.
Been moved by Ron to approve the agenda as presented. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. February 19th meeting minutes. Did anybody find anything in there that...
Yeah, a couple things.
Okay.
On this paragraph, I guess, on page 2, right here.
Okay.
On the second line, it said, if Conneff County would like to use to pipe, it should be would like to use, and then the word to should be deleted.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
To use pipe option or box culvert option. And then on page 3, I think you misspelled Dan Galsted's name.
Gosted?
Yeah, isn't it GAU?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it. No, that's all I said.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I read that too, and it didn't even dawn on me that that was spelled incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure it is.
No, it's GAU, that's
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
With the roll call on those, do they need to be in that they were present for this by phone?
They were only present in this special meeting.
Yep. So executive session, and I do have that in this paragraph that they, so I don't need to put that up at the roll call, right?
Anything else?
Yes. I would make a motion to approve the minutes as amended and dispense with the reading.
Been moved by Dale to approve the minutes as amended and dispense with the reading. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Ron. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Move on to the bills.
Just a question on it.
Yes.
It looks like we got a 6-page report, a 4-page report, and a 1-page report.
Yeah. The reason for those is because the
Welfare is separate.
and cities and townships are separate, schools are separate.
Okay.
Yep.
So the last report is schools, and then the second report, page 1 through 4, is just every outside agency.
On which page are you looking?
Page 1 through 6 I kind of understand, but then after page 6, it goes on the second report, that 4-page report.
1 through 6.
That, it looks like that is, well, it's like fire, and then a fire expense. And that's a fire.
Actually, page 12 is what it is, right?
Okay, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Those are cities. Those.
Townships.
Yep, so those would
Townships and.
Cities and townships.
And fire districts and stuff like
be.
that.
Right, yep.
Okay. Now, would you, I don't see the sort word. I mean, normally they would be sorted in order of the account number.
They
or
are-
the entity.
They are sorted by vendor number.
By vendor number. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
That's supposed to be in alphabetical order, but some are not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it just seemed like, in the first 6 pages, if it was sorted by code number, like if I was looking for the sheriff expense or something, I'd have to look all through here, it looks like.
Right.
But if it was sorted by the code number, then all of the sheriff expenses would be together, all of the auditor's expenses together, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't know if I could sort them that way.
Oh.
Because this is the report saying that the first check number, our next check number would be Access Printing. And then the next check number would be Jim Anderson. So these are going to be in check number order.
Oh,
But if you could put them in code number order, you know, it just goes from like 2130, 2180, 1000, 8503, back to 2130. I mean, that's real hard to, if you can sort them.
Oh, I'm sure there's gotta be a way to sort.
Well,
Normally,
normally.
it's probably in the drop-down box now, but normally there's somewhere, I mean, maybe the program's so old it doesn't allow you to sort it.
This isn't Microsoft.
Because this would be, you know, the
It's a
under
DOS program, yeah, isn't it?
under card member services, then different people have things under there. So right now it would be just sheriff has his stuff. But if I had some stuff to come out of card member services, then my account number would be there too.
Yeah, but just in general, I mean, trying to read down it, it jumps all over.
Yeah, I know.
You know, up to from 1000 to 8503.
I don't think this is even DOS. I think it's probably something that runs on an AS400 or something, some IBM product. And she's looking at it through a GUI interface, you know, and it's just,
Well, let's just stop down and look at the program, see if we can,
And it-
if we can adjust the sort order.
yeah, it depends on who wrote the GUI interface. That kind of makes a difference on what options you have as far as reporting options,
We
because.
can call Kelly and see if there's a sort order.
That's
Right.
quite often the best option is to call Kelly,
Yeah.
because, you know, it may be hard to find on your program, but Kelly usually says, oh, yeah, sure, just do this.
Right, yep.
But that would be easier if it was sorted by account number.
Yeah, sure seems like it, yeah. And then, no big deal, but just like copying, you know, like after page 2, it must not have copied the top of the document, which
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just seems like an.
Well, it was starting, our copier was getting jammed a lot yesterday, so
Oh.
it was like cutting off the top and stuff like that, so.
Okay.
But yeah, if it was sorted by account number, then it would show either a decreasing or increasing balance as, it, you know.
Yeah, I think we can improve it. I mean, this is a
Yeah,
good
this
first
right,
step.
but yeah.
Okay.
But I think we can take it from here and improve it further.
Yeah, it's sorted by vendor number.
Oh, okay, I didn't even stop that because.
Yeah, they're in ascending order.
No.
We can fix that.
Now my question is, how would you like to sign these, Troy? Because there was that one last column on that other sheet. I made my own columns on the bottom of these, but there's not just one. You'd have to sign quite a few.
That's fine.
Okay. Do that.
And this isn't what gets printed in the paper, is it?
No, I put those in the
Okay.
paper. Yeah,
This
I have
This
to.
would be too many pages.
No, I have to manually put those in.
So you're gonna build that anyway?
Yeah.
And that's gonna look like the old one?
No,
Oh.
like
It'll just be in a paragraph form.
yeah, it's in Word, and then I have a table in Word that I
It just
go.
goes, yeah,
Okay.
it just comma.
Yeah, Or that may be something where Kelly can just print out that thing too, you can copy and paste it right into your Word document, but we'll talk to him.
Okay. There's one that I need to add if we could. We got the Verizon bill for the sheriff's department that got missed yesterday, so we got this morning. If we could just put that in.
What is it?
It's the Verizon bill for the sheriff's department.
Okay. How much?
50910.
On page 8, second, third from the top, North Dakota surplus property, does that have a, where does that come over?
That's coming out of training.
And who, what was that for, and what training, who's training? Number 12, page 8, Denver, North Dakota surplus property, third from the top, it's $120.
I see it.
So this is in the sheriff's budget?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
carrying Terry Griggs' phone. Is that Mr. Holland? Can't remember first name.
Yeah, it should be marked.
They should probably change the name on that.
You got your number.
Right, but it still says Terry Griggs.
Also, the Niles Law Firm, we have a invoice for them, and we took it out of general courthouse. Is that where you guys wanted that to come out of? Just to make sure that's where we have it coming out of right now. But I didn't know if you guys wanted it out of the EOC account so that everything stays together, or if you wanted it out of the reserve or just general courthouse.
Shouldn't be out of the EOC, but didn't we have a new courthouse?
Town court was funding. I just told her to take it out of the general fund, but I didn't know whether or not in the general fund.
Don't we have a new courthouse account in the general fund that we funded?
I think there's 30,000 in there. Was that for insurance payments?
Well, we also funded a, well, I guess I don't have to take it over there. No, we also funded a reserve.
Yeah, general courthouse reserve. We have that.
That would probably be what we take it out of. I would think.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
Is there any other questions or comments on the bills? Anything you guys see?
Move to approve the bills on pages 5 through 16 as amended with the addition of the Verizon bill.
It's been moved by Ron to pay the invoice, the bills as presented, in addition to the Verizon bill that was brought before us this afternoon. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion?
Yeah. Did we have a court case going on in Bismarck?
Which page are you on?
I'm on.
He's looking at
breakdown of the
Verizon.
Verizon bill.
You had a convention in Bismarck, didn't you?
I had State Trades Convention in January.
He wasn't carrying the sheriff's phone though.
Oh, is that where it came from? Okay. Good point.
I mean, we can discuss the content of the bill, but I think we owe the good people at Verizon for the services they
Yep, we
provide.
do. Well, yeah. We'll have to ask Sheriff Hook. There's
Hundreds? Yep.
there's at least 50 calls originated from Bismarck in the month of January alone.
Those are the origination.
Those are just the origination.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Monthly office reports? I think Kelly touched on, I was just gonna speak a little bit to these UCC filings. I believe the state has changed the UCC filing rules, and the counties will no longer be recording those UCC filings with the state. I know at the bank, starting like day before yesterday, we have to do them directly with the Secretary of State. And we have to do the UCC searches in-house too. So I think that's something that has been done locally that I don't think the state's gonna allow that anymore. So in the future, we might see, well, we will see less of the UCCs and, or we won't see UCCs and searches anymore on the recorder's voucher. I think Ron had asked the treasurer to change the daily cash balance report at the last meeting, and I see she has done that.
Yeah, it's easier to read.
Anybody have any questions on the monthly reports?
I move to approve the office reports as presented.
Been moved by Dale to approve the monthly office reports as presented. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Ron. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion is approved. Wayne and
Let
Jake.
Mr. Waterby go first.
Okay, for the grouting projects, I brought with, they're in your packets, notice to proceed documents for Wayne to sign. So once I get these signed by Wayne, I'll send them out to Tom and then Knife River. And once they get those, then we'll be able to schedule pre-jobs and start the process going for this summer. I don't think we need a motion for this because you guys already awarded the projects, but just want to let you know what was going on there.
No, that box culvert's supposed to be in place by July 15th.
Yep.
But I think the Knife River contract says they can start in March.
No, they can start whenever they want to, but because that project is on County Road 3, which is west.
This one's Gilbertson's.
Yeah, the last one we bid, the last grouting project we bid was that Highway 15 job, and
Okay.
that they can't start that until August 15th.
Okay.
So essentially then the road will have a month to get used a little bit, let that culvert settle a little bit if it's going to settle, and then Tom will come in and re-gravel over the top of it.
Okay. So can he start that project earlier if that culvert gets in there and just not gravel that portion?
We put in the contract that if the Griggs County gives him the okay, he can start before that date. So he could even gravel over the top of it if we decide, you know what, that Midwest got in there, put the box culvert in June. It's been sitting there for a while. Go ahead and gravel. So we can let him go earlier. And I did bring the award, the notice of award and contract documents for the Midwest project. So this is the same as the rest of the projects. We need Troy and Samantha to sign 3 contracts. And then they'll keep one, I'll keep one, and you guys can keep the third one.
I've taken a look at them already.
That's the 3 contracts between the county and West. And I also got with today construction engineering agreements for the 3 grouting project and the culvert project. Both the contracts cover field inspection, testing, quantity documentation, and final records. Both contracts are hourly contracts with a maximum. So basically, we charge the hours we work on the project, and only the hours we work on the project. And if the contractor's taking a long time and we get the maximum amount of the contract, we can't charge the county any more than that number without a supplement. The contract amount for the graveling projects, we're estimating at $100,500, and that's for all 3 of them together. And the contract amount for the culvert project is $34,200. And do you guys have any questions on that?
Howard, you consider everything was normal?
When do you think there would be like the reconstruction needs?
When I send the notice to proceed, basically as soon as the contractor can meet, I like to get those done so then we can schedule. Usually then they'll give us their construction schedule and then we can figure out our staff needs through that way. Otherwise it's unknown until we have the meeting. So it could be March or I'm hoping by the end of April we have them all done.
Possible the load limits could be off early, you're gonna go on with it, I think. I have a grant fund, we're in with the Grand Works construction, and they haven't put theirs on yet. So I'm thinking it'll probably be next week sometime, if it's gonna be, fine all week or something, because everybody south of us and to the west. Somebody said Steele County was on. The signs were up. My nephew called me, and they'd gone with a loaded truck across there, and then on the way back, and they saw that some tons per axle on the.
So there are two agreements in here for engineering services,
Yeah, they're separate between the culvert project
and then the four gravel projects.
Yeah.
Any questions on those? What was the successful bid on that culvert project? 209 or something?
Yep, 209,000.
209, 270, 25. Midwest contractor.
So that 34,000 is your maximum?
Yep, that's what we estimate if, if they take a little extra time. I would assume they would go quicker than that, because we figured out how much time we're gonna have to spend out there. So, unless they run into something unforeseen, I'm thinking we should be able to get that one done for 25,000, I'm hoping. So, but yes, it's a maximum. We can't charge over that without getting a supplement from you guys.
And we've already spent some money on this engineering, haven't we?
For the design, yep.
Anybody have any other questions?
Nope.
Well, guys, come on, let's go. Oh, we don't need a motion for this? Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Oh.
for this we would, yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Everybody's kind of like waiting.
Oh yeah, that was just for the notice of awards, or the notice of proceeds.
I'd make a motion, we enter into construction engineering contract with KLG for highway project 315 Cannon and culvert on County Road 15.
Think you do. Is there a second to the motion?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Seconded by Ron. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Sorry, Jake.
That's fine, I'm sorry, that was quite confusing when you said that at the beginning.
You could have jacked these guys up earlier. Wayne, anything else?
Yes, just a couple of things. I got a call from the roof contractor wondering what we were gonna do.
I told him I thought you were gonna patch it yourself.
Yep, we patched it,
Okay.
and he said, well, you know, he said it's gonna keep on pulling in until sometimes it pulls the cement blocks right over, he said. Oh. Said at this time, we decided to patch the holes, which we did patch the holes.
How hard is it pulling on them?
Well, it looks like it's pulling the cap, you know, the metal cap that's over the top,
Yeah.
kind of distorting them, so. I don't see any cracks or anything yet from that. Something like, we could probably plan it in the budget for this coming year or something, put it in the budget.
For 2017, try to.
Possibly.
Okay.
And then I'd like to proceed on getting a retriever. So we talked about retrieving the shoulders, etc. And we have the two bids, Gilbertson and Case Titan Machinery. And after taking away this one hydraulic swing kit off of Gilbertson's, because he said you wouldn't really need that. He doesn't have that on his implement, and it brings it down to $7,337.
That's a 3.1
Yep,
for the tractor.
yep. And then if you take, he put on scrapers and bushings, and I don't know what those bushings were for, unless it's for the putting between the 3-point arms and the hook up on the retriever, $100, and the scrapers for $300. And versus Titans, they didn't have either one of those on. So that's, if I added the $400 to Titan, then it's $7,175. And Gilbertson's was $7,337. But difference is minor. If I take the $400 away, then Gilbertson's is $6,937 for leaves repair.
Was that in your budget?
Yeah, we budgeted for this. There is like $29,000 left over according to the budget.
Right.
Budgeted amount.
And they're the same machine, or the same implement?
Same company, American Disc.
So apples to apples, Gilbertson's is cheaper?
If you take away the scraper, then $69.37. And his was a little bit cheaper, $67.75.
Who's his, who's Gilbertson's?
It was a little bit higher, $200. I think with it being closer and more available, if there is something wrong, we have, his leisure care is what's
Right.
sold by it.
So you think the $200 would be, extra would be worth it in service?
Well, are they delivered prices?
That's delivered price. Delivery to Griggs County shop on the Titans is included in the purchase. Standard manufacturer's warranty. It's $200 if you, I guess.
And that was that was in the price. So what's your recommendation, Lynn?
Well, I just assume go with this closer vendor.
I make a motion we accept.
Ordered, so, yeah, accept the leisure fair
Yeah, I make a motion that we accept the bid from Lee's Repair for the
for the All-American Disc.
All-American Disc.
How we can get it on order so it gets here before the shoulders are too thought out.
Been moved by John to accept the bid from Lee's Repair for the retrievers, or second to the motion?
I'd second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carried.
I've also been working on the next sign program, or not the program, but putting up the street signs, 911 signs. So I started making a new map with the address points. So I'm gonna get the totals first, then I'll bring it up to you guys to see if you want to proceed with that. I don't think we need a sign on every minimum maintenance road. What do you think, Dale? Some places, it's where there's no road, they go either way, but it's a section line.
With navigation in most of the vehicles that are built nowadays, I don't know that we need them at all.
I don't think we do,
I mean,
but I've had people ask about it.
So is it a 911 requirement somewhere in the century code? Or?
I think so.
No, okay.
You know, that's part of the purpose of collecting the money was to set up a sign management program, which we do have. And
oh, we've already collected the money?
well, we're collecting each month, of course, there is
There's a levy
what
for
the
it.
fund total is in there, 70,000 or whatever was carried over, I think, or 80 from last year.
Is there a levy in there, or is it money that we get from the 911 from phone bills?
Oh, that's
All
what,
from phone.
sure.
They are working on text to 911. I was at a conference just the last 2 days with Bismarck. We keep working on these text to 911. It's not just a simple thing where they can just switch it over. They have to get, there's like Cass County, Grand Forks, and 2 other ones that are going to be handling all the 911 texting for 911. And then they will relay it out to state radio, and then state radio relays it out to here. But they don't want everybody to use texting 911 because it's not as convenient and as fast as if you could just dial the number. But if in a situation like you're in a school and there's a shooter or whatever, and you can't talk, so you can text, or maybe you can't talk. You know, some people have phones that
If you have bad reception.
great. You can text a lot of times, but you can't talk. So that's in the process. They think by September of this year, it'll probably be in order. There'll be a bunch of advertisements coming out saying instructions on how to do it and stuff like that will be coming out in media. Also, they're still working on this MSAG, they call it, it's address points that are on computerized. In order to do all this new E91, text to 911, send messages or pictures, they have to have all these address points in the computerized version. And so they're still working on that. And then along with that, the state did a flyover to get a real accurate map. And that's what they're using, but they've only got just a couple guys that are doing all this tech work. So it's taking longer than what they thought it would take. There's a lot of different, they all want us all to use the same abbreviations, where some people weren't using, like for highway, HWY, or avenue, AVE, they were just using AV. Well, the computer doesn't pick up the difference. So they have to have it all set the same. So that's what they're working on there too. Anyway, that's about it. I should have that mapping ready for next week, I think, so can get some costs and stuff. The first time there was 95 address points, 370 some signs. There's 4 signs in each one. So I think this next time, if I was going to put it on every township road that crosses with a county road, which intersects with a township road, because you can't really, let's say on the Orange Road where you had your bowls up there, put a sign on the state highway, well then there should be one on the other end, and that's on the township road. If you're coming from the other ways, you know where to turn.
Yeah.
So it's not just every county road or township intersection, it's
Every
state highways that have to be on the other, almost every intersection. There used to be quite a few signs, but the last time it only cost around $5,000 for those signs. And then we had to buy posts because there's a bracket, you have to make a 2-foot post that goes into the top of the steel posts that are there. And there was an extra bump there. And then the last time we contracted for $9,500 to do 700 posts. Contracted, put the signs up.
Getting to the point, we could almost buy every resident a GPS.
Yeah.
Or an app, anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of maps aren't right on your gardens and your stuff either. It shows there's a road and there's,
Yeah, they're not up to date.
and they're not to do.
Garden's on, but Google Earth is.
You know, I get a lot of traffic that's going to that pumping station that's east over.
Yeah,
I see them.
yeah.
That sells them the wrong direction.
Wrong direction, yeah.
Yeah. That I built my driveway 20 years ago and it's still not on those maps. Still wants to bring people in from the bridge.
That's good, that's a good thing then.
Unless I'm
Unless it's
waiting
a
for a delivery.
Yeah, it's a fire department.
Lucky the locals know.
Yeah. I think that's all.
Good thing it's a tax collector, bad if it's a fire department.
We've been doing a lot of repairing on trucks and stuff. I've seen some of that, transmissions and things. They're getting ready for the summer. They've been busy. Anything else?
Well, if it gets nice like it's supposed to next week, you'll be blading roads.
Yeah.
Nelson already bladed theirs last week one time when it got nice.
Okay. If they're gonna take their wings off, leave the standards on just in case and take the wings off so it's easier to blade. Should be good next week.
Get them while there's a little moisture.
Yep. All right.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thanks.
I think the motion would take a 10-minute break.
Okay.
I get those contracts.
Good move to take a 10-minute recess is our second motion.
No problem, thank you.
Seconded by Dale. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
I told
Call the meeting back to order. The next thing on here is tax director 6-month review. See, there's a couple sheets in here.
Yeah.
That first one, I don't know why that's the tax director's concern. That's a assessor's job.
It's a tax, yeah, we can go over that stuff if you want.
Should I go try and find it?
this tax director put this in here?
Oh,
Did you print out the duties or the goals?
This one here, the time frame. Just go ahead and keep it, Bill.
Okay.
Here's the second page, do it up. If you want to go back for December.
I got that when you sent that to me, but I am clueless about those timelines seem to be, and I don't have much help on that.
Is she coming? Okay.
So, the Century Code 1110.101, which is the County Director of Tax Equalization, paragraph 2 of that states the Board of County Commissioners may appoint a County Director of Tax Equalization on a probationary basis who does not hold the current certification as a level 1 assessor if the board deems individual qualified as a county tax director of equalization by virtue of education, training, experience, and willingness to obtain a certificate as a class 1 assessor. The appointment must be for a term not more than 2 years. Any person receiving a probationary appointment who does not obtain certification as a class 1 assessor within 2 years from the appointment is not eligible for the reappointment. And then in the county employee handbook, under employment categories, then this would be an introductory category, and as she was hired, the employees were being evaluated to determine whether further employment in a specific position or with the county is appropriate. Employees who satisfactorily complete the introductory period will be notified of their new employment classification, and the 6 months, which is the standard probationary period, was up the 3rd of February, and we didn't have a full commission, and so it wasn't proceeded forward. So we have to determine whether or not the tax director is to our liking, to the citizens of Griggs County's liking, and performing at a level that will achieve the goals of being a level 1 assessor within a two-year period of time. Because if not, that's an endpoint. So then you'd have to start over the whole process again. So that's where we sit. So I don't know how we go from there. Ron has put together the time frame, the duties for the tax director. We don't know. Patty probably hasn't seen that. We don't know whether or not what schedule we're on with those. So
What's that you put together?
Well, it's from the tax assessor's office, and it was a schedule that they put out. I'm sure I got it on their website.
Oh, okay.
What should be done in the month of January, what should be done in the month of February, what should be done in March, and so on.
Okay.
The duties of the equalization director. Now, the training part of it is a completely different matter. That involves 120 hours total. 180 hours total.
Yeah, 180.
180 hours total.
Is that to be a level 1 or level 2?
That's to be a level 1, but the probationary period only takes into account a level 1. It doesn't let you just become a level 2. You have to go on and get to level 1.
There's additional training.
Yes, there's over and above, right? Over and above.
this in the sheet here that Patty gave us, the unlivable homestead things, that's really not an issue. the way the Century Code takes care of that is if you have a home on your property and you want it exempt, you apply for the exemption. If the home is unlivable, you apply for an abatement and classify it as unlivable. It's the responsibility of the taxpayer, not only the tax equalization director when it is brought to the attention of the tax equalization director by the taxpayer. I don't know the rest of this, if it makes any difference. The assessing the city of Binford, that was going to be done on I assume it was going to be done on a private basis. Yeah. Because you realize the assessing was going to be done in the spring and summer, and you weren't going to be certified till the end of summer. The question comes to mind: how can you assess something if you're not certified? But that's neither here nor there, because Griggs County, the probationary period to be an equalization director does not extend to being an assessor.
I don't understand what you're saying, because my understanding was that if I get city assessor or become certified, then I can assess the whole county.
No,
You're not the assessor. You're the tax director.
Correct, but I could contract with the townships. And that's my understanding.
You're right, but once you become certified, but the probationary period in the Century Code, which allows you, the 2 years which allows you to be the tax director, does not allow you to be an assessor during that probationary period until you're qualified.
I haven't heard that. I need to check that out. That's not my understanding.
No, but that's the fact.
Okay.
and it states very clearly in the Century Code that. So you can't be, otherwise, why would anybody could be an assessor then under the probationary period? It gives you the ability to act as tax director, but everything you do has to be signed off by a certified assessor, whether level 2 or level 1.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, that's between you and the city of Binford. The splits I don't know about. The job description is laid out in 10.10 or 11-10.1, and it's laid out in paragraphs 05 and 06 of the Century Code. And that is your job description. The last one about attending the training, I don't see where any of that training that you attended went towards your overall training requirements to become a level 1 assessor. None of those hours transferred to the required training that I see.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I thought it was extremely beneficial because whenever they go over the sales ratio study, I feel it's really important. It's the nitty gritty of what I do. Because I have to fill out the DX forms, and then whenever every line item in the DX form on the back of it. So that's one of the reasons why I went, because it's directly related to the job.
Possibly so, but what the county put aside money for was your training, the required training to become a level 1 assessor. So you very well might be able to attend these meetings or should attend these meetings, but it is not a requirement. Thusly, that shouldn't be paid for with county funds, with taxpayer dollars.
Okay.
So that's my take on that. Is the time would have been better spent towards something that is mandatory, that has to be done. Because if you time out and don't get the level 1 assessor, there is no grace period. And then we have to appoint a new tax director and start all over again. So I think that's where everything stands, and I don't know where we go from there. And I know we just gave you that list there of what the state required of the equalization director, and I don't know where we stand on that. If any of that has been completed or not. That isn't training, that's just information that the state needs on a monthly basis in order to
for them to be able to compile the records needed on their end of it. And I like I said, I don't know where we stand on that.
My understanding is that I have communicated with the state whenever they've needed something, I've complied. The veterans credit and the homestead credit, I just filed those reports the first. So as far as my understanding is that I've done everything the state has required.
Did that list was compiled in the state?
It came from the state.
Right.
You probably got the same list, I suppose.
Mhm. So could you verify to us on a line item what you have accomplished of that list and when it was done?
Yeah, maybe even starting with last December. The second page at the bottom is last December, what you were supposed to do.
And maybe we should put this off for another meeting. I mean, she hasn't had time to actually look at that, and that probably isn't, under this circumstance, I would think we should table this till the next meeting. So that you have time to compile the information that pertains to your duties there.
Okay.
I'd make that a motion.
It's been moved by John that we table this discussion regarding the tax director's position until the next meeting to give Patty adequate time to respond to the information request that's been presented to her today. Is there a second to that motion? Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion?
At the same time, Patty, could you provide us with the training requirements for level 1 assessor and what you've completed to date as of next meeting, please?
I think I already submitted that to you a couple meetings ago.
Okay, so now there's been no
Nothing's
change?
changed.
No,
Okay.
it's because I'm still on that second course.
Okay.
Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay.
I did want to ask a question though. There is splits that are done every year. Do I give these splits to the townships to have them create values for them?
Yeah, if that's what you got, I don't understand this at all. Split into 10 and 20, what does that even mean?
Well, what happens is, usually whenever a parcel is split, she splits it off, and at the extension, she gives it, different numbers to differentiate this parcel from this other parcel. It's just a way of tracking the parcels. So 10 and 20, it just means that it was split into 2 parcels.
But like one parcel will have all kinds of different soil values. So why is it being split? I mean, of course, there's different soil values.
Well, it's
It's for ownership. It's
Yes,
split as far as-
ownership.
it's
Oh, it's
split as far
ownership.
as ownership.
It's ownership, so if somebody took one parcel and they split it out,
Oh, okay.
so I just need to know from you,
And what has to happen is the total value of the parcel before it's split has got to be contained within the 2 split values. So if it was worth $100, you split it, no matter what you split it into, the 2 added together need to equal $100.
And one might be 60 and one might be 40 based on soil types.
So when it says a split from 9 and 10, that's section 9 and section 10 were split?
No,
Or
it's just the parcel numbers.
yeah, it's just, yeah.
Might be a 40 got split in 2, but they just created another parcel number so that it added a parcel to the county is basically what happened because somebody sold a piece of something.
Yeah, they created an abstract, and an abstract triggered the need to split it.
I would almost think most of these are like somebody split out of their yard so they could get a secondary mortgage or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's even an ownership change, it's probably more of just a creating another land description for some purpose, like
We
that.
split a half section in Mabel Township, but we didn't file the abstract, we just filed the deeds.
Sometimes the deeds are fine, then if we're able to,
You didn't update the abstract.
If you didn't update the abstract, then it didn't create a separate taxable entity is what they're looking at. If the abstract was updated and a deed another deed was produced, then it created a separate taxable entity, and that's what she's trying to do. But I don't know the exact procedure on how to do that.
You know, the deeds are created, we just didn't update the abstract.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, that change, adding on a parcel if you record.
So you
the
split
deeds.
between the family members the ownership of that?
Yeah.
Who gets the abstract?
No, I got it.
Who? But there's the people
They just didn't update it.
but
But it creates two abstracts because it's two different parcels now.
Yeah.
But if they didn't file it, it doesn't matter. It'll still, the taxable value for the half section will stay as for the half section. It won't be created into two, whatever it was split into.
But you did record it though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if it's recorded, then it's two different parcels.
if it's recorded, they're gonna split it in the tax records. That's probably one of these splits.
Yeah.
And this is totally separate, but if you got the abstract and the people that own the other quarter don't have an abstract, if they ever try to sell it, they're gonna have to build one.
It's gonna cost them $3,500 or whatever
Well,
to get an abstract.
It's within the 10 months.
But like the question, if the splits need to be done, then you need to determine, that's your job as equalization director, you need to determine how to do that, because of course we don't have we don't know how that's supposed to be done. That's why we have an equalization director to advise us as to how to take care of things like this.
Okay.
We have a working knowledge of it, but not the, that would be a question for maybe somebody at a state level.
Well, the treasurer is the one that created these parcels,
That's
right?
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Connie did, correct.
well, I think it's my office. Because when we record the deed in the tax books, then we write that, but I ask Connie what the number's supposed to be. And
Right.
so yeah.
So what I'll do then is I'll contact the state to find out how to do this and let you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it just needs to be taken care of. That's one of your duties as yeah.
Well, it's already done. Connie's already done this.
Right, but what they're for next year, there needs to be a value put to them so that they can be a tax bill sent out on
For
it.
2016,
That's what
we
she's
need a
trying to do.
value for attached to it. So, okay.
They probably just split it evenly per acre.
No, it'll have to be done by soil type. That's all the.
That's probably what they did for this tax year.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Because we got tax statements separating that half, everybody paid their own
Right.
portion of it, it hadn't been revalued, so.
Yeah, it should have been done, like they're saying. If there's a certain soil type that makes this one more valuable.
Well, that's, to me, that goes back again to the township assessor.
Yeah.
Mabel didn't have an assessor, so they're kind of done.
It's certainly a test of the soil value system, because I just about guarantee if you split it up, plug it into the system, and look at the values that it spits out, it won't be an aggregate of the value when it was together. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. Is there anything else then?
No,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
That's fair.
Let's cover this borehole thing. This is no action needed. The radioactive borehole issue is gonna go away, so we don't have to fight with the water board.
I'm not sure why it was an agenda item for the water board or for us.
I don't either, but I just wanted to let you guys know that it kinda went away.
Just because of the last meeting's discussion on the bottom, we did say that we were gonna discuss at the next meeting, so just kind of update you guys.
It's no longer an issue. They put a moratorium on drilling up there, so it's no longer an issue. They could have solved their own problem without getting everybody else involved.
Yeah.
Hope nobody has to put in a new corner post this spring. Got a moratorium on drilling.
They want for a little county to try it.
That was good. But maybe it was a vote of confidence in the leadership in Griggs County if they asked our opinion.
I bet that's it.
I don't see it ever any other explanation myself.
Starting to talk like a politician now.
Yeah.
Are you,
We have to go into executive session.
those guys waiting for us?
Yeah, I can call them. We'll call Dan and see if we can put on a conference.
Need a motion to that effect?
We don't adjourn,
Move.
Recess.
Recess
recess.
and move into executive session.
So moved.
It's been moved by John that we recess the regular session and move into executive session to visit with council. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is there any further business?
I make a motion, we adjourn regular session.
It's been moved by John to adjourn. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned at 4:23 p.m. Next regular meeting is scheduled for March 18th at 1 p.m.